All right, what is up, YouTube world? This is your man Eric Stone with Aspiring Music Writer with an A. This video is going to be a review of the Cody Hibbard with Hayfield show. I seen it in the Majestic in Fort Smith, Arkansas on Garrison Avenue. I got my Cody Hibbard merch. Got a new shirt the Friday night, whenever it was. I can't remember. I've slept since then. But anyways, two great bands. To me, they both blend like traditional country and mainstream country together. A little bit of rock. But funny thing is, I usually get recognized, and I'm not saying this to like pump up my ego, but it's just funny how some things work out. Anyways, like everybody knows me where I go because I'm there almost every weekend. Now I did take 2 months off back in September. So I seen William Clark Green last week and JT Hubbard and the Damn Thing. If you haven't checked out those videos, please do. And I'm sitting there. I usually get there way too early, like I normally do. This time I didn't bring my guitar just because they'd have already signed it, and that's a blessing. Thank you, Jesus. But anyways, so I'm sitting there on my phone writing lyrics. I'm always writing lyrics or uploading something on Facebook or playing a game, whatever I was doing. And some girl's like, "Is your name Eric Stone?" I was like, "Yes." She's like, "Do you remember me?" I'm like, "Sorry, ma'am, no, I don't." But what it was, it turned out was my physical therapist, because this arm's kind of a dud. But from a long time ago, and her son, Taylor Hyatt, was the lead singer of Hayfield. It's just weird. It's a small world, you know. And so I told my mom about it. But I just thought it was pretty funny just how it's a small world when you think about it, you know. Because I didn't recognize her. And because I asked her, I said, because there was 3 or 4 places I went. I said, "Was it the Kistler Center?" She goes, because there's a place in Fort Smith, great people, great therapy place. Check them out. They're still there. I hadn't seen them in years, but they did therapy with me for years, and I was just an idiot and didn't really participate because I had a thick skull. But they were great people. But she goes, "No, it wasn't the Gregor Kistler Center. It was in a little small town close to where I live." I was like, "Oh, that's pretty cool." But anyways, so that night I went there, and it was a very hard decision because William Clark Green was right around the corner, and that's one of my favorite live bands is William Clark Green. But I was like, well, I seen them last week, so I'll see Cody this week, and Cody Hibbard and Hayfield, and but anyways, but there's some people that I knew that went to William Clark Green. I could have gone, but I would have missed the opening act. And when I go to a concert, I go for everybody. You know, the opening, I just don't go for the main act, you know. I go for both, you know, every bit of it. I just love the environment and everything else. All the bartenders know me. I don't drink that much, and I've wanted to write a song about that. I just hadn't figured out the lines for it yet. But anyways, if you haven't seen Hayfield, and Hayfield is spelled with Hayfield. They're a new young country band. I think they're based in Nashville. They're on a record label in Nashville. And then there's Cody Hibbard. Cody Hibbard is a guy that works or used to work on the pipelines, and a few people I went to school with or hang around with met him on the pipeline before even anybody know he could sing. I think they knew he could sing, but like he was still working, and thanks to God, he's got a really thriving music career, and he's able to not have to work a job. He just does music for a living. He's opened up for Cody Canada, Jason Boland, I think William Clark Green, and a few others. But anyways, so Hayfield is a quartet from the Arkansas area, maybe Mississippi. I can't remember the guitarist's name or the bassist's name, but it's made up of Taylor Hyatt, and is the lead singer and acoustic guitarist, and Trey Lambreth. I don't know if that's how you say it either, but check them out, Hayfield. They did I think 7 originals and 6 covers. So about half and half. They kicked off with their own Hell. I think I got that one on video, but check out my videos. It will just say Hayfield at Majestic, Fort Smith, and it'll be in a weird writing because I tagged Majestic, Fort Smith, my favorite venue to go watch live music at. And if you want to get recent videos, it's got to take more than one. Or I usually put the date in the description. So, hell, then they did Country Taught Me. That one you can find on streaming platforms. Great song. Then they did Coetzel's The Good Die Young. I love that video. I love Coetzel. I've seen him one time, and it was before he blew up. I'd like to see him again, and I had the chance one time. He played down where Peacemakers was, and it was just one of them days I didn't want to do anything, so I just went home and went to bed, so I missed out. But anyways, then they did another cover, Port Swing Angel by Muscadine Bloodline. Then they did You Proof by Morgan Wallen. Then they did their own Broke Ass. That's a good song. Sorry. They did Broke Ass before You Proof. Sorry. Got it wrong. And they did Nothing on You. They slowed it way down for Cody Johnson's Nothing on You. And I love that song. I love the way that Taylor did it, or the whole band did it. Because it was acoustic. Trey, their drummer, was out because he was sick. So there was just a 3-piece. Not really acoustic, but yeah, with no drums. And I think I got that one on there too. I can't remember. They did Smoke a Little Smoke. That's one of my favorite Eric Church songs. If you have a chance, go see Eric Church. He is well worth the money. He's not one of my favorite artists out there, but he does a really good live show. I've seen him 2 or 3 times. Of course, this was back when he was like very young. I think he had like 2 peak lines out, and I'm trying to think of what. Like I said, he was really young. He played at the Fort Smith Convention Center years ago, but he put on a hell of a show. And I'm not the type. I don't get into all anybody's political bullshit. As in, I don't care what their politics is. If I love the music, I'm going to listen to it, but I just don't care. Now, there's a lot of things I don't agree with a lot of the artists that I support, but I don't let that get in the way of the music. But anyways, then they did Original Heart to Steal. That's another great song. Then they did White Picket Fences. That was another original. They did their new single. Go check it out. No Good. And they also got another song out. I can't remember what it's called, but it's like the unedited version of a song that's already been a single. It's just an unedited version. Then they did Post Malone, Circles. And then they ended with another original called Another Round. So I've got 3 or 4 videos of them, so check it out. They did a great job. They didn't stay long. They had to go do another show down in Little Rock the next day, or maybe that night. I can't remember. I was talking to Taylor, and I can't remember because I get so many conversations mixed up. But then, and then after Hayfield got off, Cody Hibbert came out, and his band. He's got a 6-piece band. It's Cody, Trevor Calloway, Stephen Jeremy, the bass player. 6-piece, but I think 6-piece band with Cody, and he put on a great. He's getting better and better every time I see him. I've seen him 3 or 4 times, I think, 3 or 4 times. And I've seen him a few times at Majestic. Like one time they opened up for Cody Canada. I seen him at Peacemakers. I seen him last time. So not but just be 3 times. But every time I see them, they're great, great, great. And they get better every time. They did about a 90-minute set. It kind of went over because the audience kept requesting more and more songs, which is a good thing to a band, you know. They kicked off. They didn't do that many covers, and I like that with the band. I like them to throw in a few covers, but I like the original music a lot better. I'm a little bit different. I'll tell you a quick story just because this is my YouTube page or channel. But when Cody Canada came back to town, as with Cody Canada Departed, not Ragweed, it was after Ragweed split up back in 2010, I think. God, it's been a while, hasn't it? But anyway, they came back. It was a sound room at that time. It wasn't the Majestic. It was a sound room. And they had an album they were supporting called This Is Indian Land. And I don't think it's on streaming platforms anymore. I actually got the actual CD and it's signed somewhere in one of my rooms in my house. But anyways, and it was no Ragweed that night tunes. None. These were songs that probably 90% of us, well, I'd probably say 98% of the audience have not heard. Because it was a tribute album to the songwriters in Oklahoma, like Tom Skinner and Bob Childers and Greg. I can't think of what his name is. I can't think of what Greg's last name is. And Randy Crouch, and all these kick-ass Oklahoma musicians. And like nobody knew these songs, and there's a few people that got really pissed at Cody and the band because for one thing they didn't play Boys from Oklahoma, and I understood because I know Cody, I think at that time was wanting to get away from the Ragweed thing and try something new. Now he plays a lot of Ragweed stuff too, plus the new stuff he's written. And I understand that, but I was all gung-ho about it. I'm like, yeah, new, because it just gave me, rabbit holes to go down to. These singers and songwriters from Oklahoma that, very few people have heard of, and people that used to perform at the Forum. If you don't know what that is, go check it out. I think it's in Stillwater, Oklahoma. I don't know if it's still there or not. I know it was a few years ago, but it was just this old, broke down farm that all the Oklahoma musicians would sit there and play, around campfires or whatever. And Mike McClure played there, I think. I don't know if Bob Childers played there or not. Randy Crouch might have. I know that's where Mike McClure played a lot, and Jason Boland and Cody Canada, Stoney LaRue, and Wade Bone all played in their younger days, But anyways, I know I get off track. But anyways, so they kicked off with their song Down Now. Then they went into Down in Flames, and that is not the Stoney LaRue song, it's their song. And they went into The Truth, which is their song too, Cody's song. There's also a song by, I think Trent Woolman wrote it. I think Jason Aldean recorded one version of it called The Truth. It is not that song. They're both great songs. Then went to Ice Cold Therapy. I love that song. It's a real get you want to drink beer. And of course, like I said, I don't drink beer or a lot, even if at all when I go see live shows, unless I'm staying at a hotel or something. Then they slowed it down, and the only love song that Cody Hibbert has written called Ask Your Mother, and it was about his mom. Then they went into Memory in a Dirt Road. That's another great song. And all these you can stream on your favorite streaming platforms. And they played Trouble with Angels. That's a slow song. I love that song. Then he went and did a cover of Jamie Johnson's In Color. And, went and, thanked the troops, God bless all the troops, I love that song. It's one of my favorite written songs by Jamie Johnson. If you have a chance to go see Jamie Johnson in concert. Now, I don't know, because I've gotten mixed reviews on different people that say he just stands there and does this. But then again, George Strait does the same thing, and George Strait's fucking awesome, But, to me, Jamie Johnson's not a performer. He's a songwriter and a singer, But go check it. I've seen Jamie Johnson once, I think. And then they played Just for the Record. That's another great song. Then they played their new single, Another Bar. Check it out. Like I said, all on your streaming platforms, favorite streaming platforms. Spotify, iTunes, wherever you get your music from. Then afterwards they played I've Been There Too. That's another great song. Then they played You Don't Know Her Like I Do. Then I think they played a song for two girls in the audience that wasn't on this. That might have been the song they played. I can't remember. I don't think they played Cold Case that night. Afterwards, Cody sang a song to two girls in the audience. He came back and did Half Whiskey, Half Lonely. I love it. That's a song that got them started. I think it was their very first single on the streaming platforms. And then one thing I loved about him is I love when artists, and this will connect to what I'm talking about in this video, is he talked about how, he said when he was in the pipeline and industry, whatever you want to call it, and, because the funny thing is, when he's an Asian guy, and he was adopted, and when you see him, the voice does not match the face. You know what I'm talking about? And I think someone had said that when they were eating somewhere years ago at a restaurant or something, and they're like, your face is not, like, you don't sound like what you look like. And they didn't mean it as a bad thing. And some guy that was there with Cody said, you ought to hear him sing. And Cody got out his guitar and sang, because he don't sound anything like you think he would. I love his voice. But anyways, he's talking about how that he's always, stood up for two things, with being yourself and, being free in this country. And he said when he got started pursuing the music while he was still in the pop line, on the pop line, that there was a few people that said, don't quit your day job. That music thing is never going to work out, you know, and they just discouraged him. And he said, pretty much, screw y'all. I'm going to be me. If it works out, if it works out. If it don't, it don't, you know. And, you know, luckily, and thank God to him, the music thing has worked out. And then he went into a song called Dying Breed. Because what his deal was, there is not that many people, or very few people, that actually go after their dreams. And the people that don't go after dreams and just stay in their little corner of the little dot on the map, you know, just, I guess, get aggravated because they fought to get what they want. And they're just so stuck in whatever situation, you know. And I've been that way too. People think I'm fucking nuts because there's a lot of things I want to do like that's never going to happen, you know. And then they ended, except for the encore, then they went into Armed and Dangerous. That's also on streaming platforms. And then the rest of the band went off for a minute, and he said that Jason Boland told him that if you go off stage, there was no point in going off stage and coming back. So he stayed on stage and like another song, or the audience did. So they went and they came back up and they did what they called a shot game or a drinking game where Trevor, one of the lead guitarists, and Cody go back and forth on, they'll sing like a verse and a chorus of a song, or a verse, part of a song, and if the other one don't get it, they take a shot, you know. And they did like Friends in Low Places and some other tunes, and then every band member, I think, sang a song. Trevor sang, it's a Show Them to Me by Rodney Carrington. They did Friends in Low Places. They did a few other songs. And then what I liked about Cody, and it was funny as hell, is that he actually got called racist for doing this. But it's funny as hell is he said they did Boys from Oklahoma. Because when they opened up for Cody at Majestic about a year ago, whenever it was, maybe a couple of years ago. Not know if it was that night, but Cody had told him, said, "Be yourself, be who you're gonna be." And if you know anything about Boys from Oklahoma, it's a song by Gene Collier that Ragweed has made famous. And there are so many different verses that people come up with, and I wish I would have got this on video. My phone was almost dead, so I wasn't filming at that time. And he did a song about squinty eyes and being Asian, and it was just flat out fucking hilarious. Because, you know, like you could say, Cody Kennedy said, "Be yourself." So, and then I think they did another song after that. But it was a good night, and they came out, and I talked to Trevor and Jeremy and Cody and a bunch of other people, you know. So, like I said, two great bands. Go see both of them. Check out their singles, Another Bar and No Good. Go support live music. Go support the Majestic if you happen to be out. That's where I go the most. And I will see y'all later.